Imagine this. Your body is not just a machine that needs constant fueling, it's a highly intelligent system designed for survival. Deep inside, there is a hidden switch, a mechanism that only turns on when you stop eating. Most people never get to experience this because they're trapped in the cycle of breakfast, snacks, lunch, coffee, dinner, and late night eating. The switch remains off, the body never gets the chance to repair itself, and slowly over time health begins to break down. But the moment you remove food, your body doesn't see it as danger, it sees it as an opportunity. That survival switch kicks in, and suddenly everything changes. Your cells start operating in a completely different mode. A mode that is not about storage but about repair. Your body has been carrying this mechanism for thousands of years, passed down through your ancestors who survived not because they had constant access to food, but because their bodies knew how to thrive without it. This survival switch is the very reason humans made it through famine, through winters, through times of scarcity. And when you tap into it, you are unlocking a natural power that modern living has almost made us forget. It's like finding a hidden superpower that's been inside you all along, just waiting for the right conditions to activate. Now, when that hidden survival switch turns on, the very first thing that happens is insulin begins to drop. And this is huge because insulin is not just about blood sugar. It's the master controller of fat storage. As long as insulin is elevated, your body is locked in storage mode, unable to tap into its reserves. That's why so many people feel tired, sluggish, and constantly hungry, even when they eat all the time. But the moment you stop eating, insulin has no reason to stay elevated. Within just 24 to 48 hours, it starts to fall, and when it does, it's like unlocking a door that's been sealed shut for years. Your body suddenly has access to its own energy supply, the fat you've been carrying around but couldn't reach before. This is when fat burning finally begins, not because you forced it with willpower or another restrictive diet, but because you allowed your hormones to shift into balance. And here's the fascinating part. As insulin comes down, your risk for inflammation, cravings, and energy crashes also drops. You don't just lose weight, you reset the very system that controls how your body uses fuel. It's not about starvation, it's about liberation. You're giving your body the freedom to run the way it was designed, without the constant interference of insulin holding you back. And once insulin finally drops and that door to stored energy swings open, something incredible happens. Your body shifts its primary fuel source. Instead of relying on quick sugars that burn out fast and leave you craving more, it begins to tap into fat, a fuel so stable and efficient that it can keep you going for hours, even days, without the constant ups and downs. Think of it like switching from a cheap battery that dies quickly to a long, lasting power source designed to sustain you. When fat becomes your fuel, you're no longer dependent on the next meal to function. The energy inside your body, stored around your waist, your hips, even deep inside your organs, finally gets used the way nature intended. And the beauty is, this transition is not just about energy, it's about freedom. No more roller coaster of blood sugar spikes and crashes, no more irritability when you miss a snack, no more being controlled by cravings. Instead, your body runs smoothly, steadily, almost effortlessly. Your brain clears up, your mood stabilizes, and for the first time you realize that food was never meant to control you, it was meant to serve you. This is when you discover that fat is not your enemy, it's the very fuel your body was waiting to unleash once you gave it the chance. And the moment your body switches over to fat as its primary fuel, your brain experiences something extraordinary. Instead of running on unstable glucose, it now receives energy from ketones, clean, efficient, powerful fuel that doesn't spike and crash. This is why so many people report that when they fast, instead of feeling foggy, they feel sharper than ever. The mind clears, focus deepens, and there's a sense of calm that wasn't there before. Imagine the difference between driving a car that sputters every few miles versus one that runs smoothly on premium fuel. That's the shift your brain makes. And it's not just about focus, it's about emotional stability too. Anxiety, irritability, mood swings. All of these are tied to the highs and lows of blood sugar. But when your brain is fueled by ketones, those roller coasters stop. You feel steady, you feel present, you feel in control. This is when people often realize that their constant need for food wasn't about true hunger, it was about unstable energy. Now, with your brain fueled properly, you finally see what it feels like to operate at full capacity. It's like unlocking a part of your mind you didn't even know was there, and once you experience that clarity, you'll never look at food the same way again. And as your brain is thriving on ketones and your energy feels steady like never before, something even more profound begins deep within your cells. Your body switches on a process called autophagy. Now, most people have never even heard of this, but it is one of the most powerful healing mechanisms you possess. Autophagy is like your body's own recycling system. It identifies old, weak, damaged cells, broken proteins, and toxic build-up, and begins to clean them out. It's as if an internal janitor wakes up and starts sweeping away the clutter that's been slowing you down for years. Those stiff, inflamed tissues, those sluggish cells, even precancerous growths, your body knows exactly what to do with them. It breaks them down, reuses the good parts, and eliminates the rest. Think of it as a cellular renovation, where the old and dysfunctional are replaced with new and efficient. And the beauty is, you don't have to take anything or buy anything for this to happen. You simply have to stop eating long enough for your body to get the signal. This is why fasting isn't starvation, it's transformation. It's your body finally being given the chance to repair what food and constant eating never allowed it to fix. And once this deep cleaning starts, you don't just feel lighter. You feel renewed, almost as if your body is rebooting from the inside out. And while your cells are being cleaned and rebuilt through autophagy, another powerful shift is happening that most people don't even realize. Your growth hormone begins to surge. Now, growth hormone isn't just for children or athletes. It's one of the most important hormones for repair, rejuvenation, and slowing the aging process. When you're eating all the time, growth hormone stays suppressed. But the moment you pull food out of the equation, your body flips the switch and growth hormone skyrockets. This hormone preserves your lean muscle, strengthens your joints, protects your bones, and supports your skin and connective tissues. It's like your body is sending in construction workers to rebuild, restore, and reinforce what time and stress have broken down. And here's the amazing part. While most diets strip away muscle along with fat, fasting paired with this natural surge of growth hormone does the opposite. You burn fat while protecting your lean tissue, which is the very thing that keeps you strong, functional, and youthful. Imagine your body quietly working behind the scenes, repairing, strengthening, and renewing every part of you, not because of something external you added, but because of something internal you finally allowed to wake up. This is why fasting feels like turning back the clock, because at a cellular and hormonal level, it literally is. And as growth hormone rises, protecting your muscle and repairing your tissues, there's another remarkable transformation happening inside the reset of your immune system. Most people think their immune system only depends on vitamins or external boosters, but the truth is, it's deeply influenced by fasting. When you stop eating, your body begins recycling old, weak, and damaged white blood cells, the ones that can no longer defend you properly. It's almost like your body is clearing out an old army that has grown tired and ineffective, and then, as the days pass, something incredible happens. Your stem cells activate. These stem cells begin generating brand, new, fresh immune cells, stronger and sharper, ready to protect you in ways your old cells never could. Imagine replacing a rusty, outdated defense system with a brand new, highly efficient one. That's exactly what your immune system experiences during a 5-day fast. And the impact goes beyond just fighting infections. It helps lower autoimmune reactions, it supports recovery from chronic conditions, and it strengthens your resilience against future health threats. It's like giving your body a brand new shield, lighter, stronger, and more effective. And all of this happens not by adding anything, but by removing food long enough for your immune system to rebuild itself from the ground up. And as your immune system renews itself with brand, new cells, another powerful change begins to take place. Your inflammation starts to drop. Inflammation is at the root of almost every major health problem. Joint pain, stiffness, brain fog, bloating, fatigue, even the slow wear and tear of aging itself. And what fuels that inflammation? Constant eating, constant insulin spikes, constant digestive stress. But when you remove food and allow your body to enter fasting mode, inflammation begins to calm down. The fire that's been burning quietly inside your joints, in your gut, in your blood vessels, starts to cool. Suddenly, those aches that felt normal, that fog you thought was just part of life, begin to lift. Your cells can now function without the constant background stress of irritation. Your tissues begin to heal instead of defend. Think of it like shutting off an alarm that's been blaring nonstop for years. Finally, there's silence. Finally, your body can focus on true repair. And here's the most surprising part. Many people don't just feel lighter physically, they feel lighter emotionally too, because inflammation doesn't just affect the body, it affects the brain. When that burden lifts, clarity, calmness, and even joy return naturally. This is the power of fasting. It doesn't just treat the symptoms, it removes the source, and that's why the body begins to feel alive again. And while inflammation is cooling down and your body is healing on a cellular level, something equally powerful is happening in your digestive system. It finally gets to rest. Think about it. Day after day, meal after meal, your gut is constantly working, breaking down food, producing enzymes, secreting acids, moving everything through. It never really gets a break. And just like any machine that runs nonstop, eventually it begins to wear out. Gas, bloating, indigestion, leaky gut, food sensitivities, all signs that your digestive system is overwhelmed. But the moment you stop eating, the gut finally breathes. The lining begins to repair, the microbiome starts to rebalance, and the constant irritation fades away. It's like giving your digestive tract a vacation after years of hard labor. And here's the fascinating part: when digestion rests, energy that was always being used up in processing food gets redirected into deep healing. Your body becomes more efficient, your gut becomes stronger, and when you do return to eating, your system can handle food with more resilience and less stress. Imagine a factory that shuts down for maintenance not because it's broken, but because it needs to come back stronger, smoother, and more efficient. That's exactly what happens when you give your digestive system this gift of rest. And after the fat has become your clean fuel, after your brain has sharpened with clarity, after your cells have recycled and renewed themselves, after growth hormone has surged, your immune system reset, inflammation cooled, and your digestive system has rested, you realize something far greater than just physical healing. You discover a level of empowerment that changes how you look at yourself and at life itself. Because fasting, especially 5 days without food, is not only a biological transformation, it is a mental and emotional awakening. Most of us spend our lives believing we are controlled by food. We wake up thinking about breakfast, we spend the day planning lunch, we rush home ready for dinner, and in between, we snack as if our survival depends on it. And without realizing it, we live as prisoners to cravings, to habits, to the belief that hunger is an emergency. But when you go 5 days without food, you break those invisible chains. You prove to yourself that hunger is not an emergency, it's a wave that rises and falls, and you are stronger than it. For the first time, you see that the cravings that once felt like chains around your neck are nothing more than illusions. And when that realization sets in, it's not just your body that resets, it's your mind. Imagine the level of confidence that comes from knowing you can go days without food and still function, still think, still have energy, and in many cases, feel better than you do when eating. Suddenly, food loses its power over you. You no longer eat out of compulsion, you eat by choice. And that shift, that control, is life-changing. Because if you can master the deepest biological drive of hunger, what else in life can possibly control you? Stress, fear, doubt, none of it has the same grip anymore. Fasting teaches you discipline at the most primal level, and that discipline spreads into every other area of your life. Think about it. When you used to feel tired, you'd reach for a snack. When you were stressed, you'd grab comfort food. When you were sad, you'd look for sugar to lift your mood. And slowly, those habits chained your emotions to your diet. But when you've gone through the fire of 5 days with nothing, those old patterns lose their hold. You no longer soothe yourself with food. You no longer medicate emotions with sugar, because you've learned how to sit with yourself, to face your own feelings, to let your body and mind handle discomfort without reaching for a crutch. That is empowerment at the deepest level, and this empowerment goes beyond food. It shifts your relationship with your body. Instead of seeing your body as fragile, as something that constantly needs external input to survive, you begin to see it as powerful, resilient, and self-sufficient. You realize that your body isn't weak, it's wise, that it isn't dependent on constant feeding, it thrives in cycles of feast and fast. And the respect you gain for your body after a 5-day fast is something no supplement, no quick diet, no workout program could ever give you. It's respect born from experience, from watching your body rise to the challenge, adapt, heal, and grow stronger without anything but water, minerals, and time. Now let's talk about the mental clarity on a deeper level. When your brain is running on ketones, you don't just think sharper, you begin to think differently. Your perspective shifts. It's as if the fog of constant digestion, constant insulin spikes, and constant cravings has been lifted, and you can see your life with new eyes. You begin to notice the things that really matter because you're no longer distracted by the next meal. You're not living meal to meal anymore. You're living moment to moment, fully present, and in those moments of clarity, you may begin to ask yourself bigger questions. Why am I here? What am I doing with my health, my time, my relationships? And those questions aren't overwhelming, they're liberating. Because in the silence of fasting, in the space you create by stepping away from food, your mind finally has room to breathe, to think, to create. And here's something even more powerful, the emotional calm that comes with fasting. Without the blood sugar roller coaster, without the spikes and crashes, your mood stabilizes in a way you may not have felt in years. Anxiety quiets down, irritability fades, and you find yourself with a sense of peace you didn't expect. Many people discover that fasting doesn't just reset the body, it resets the nervous system. That constant fight or flight state begins to ease, and a sense of balance takes its place. You learn that you don't need to react to every signal, every craving, every emotion. You can simply observe, and in that observation, you gain strength. But empowerment goes even further. Once you've proven to yourself that you can handle 5 days without food, you begin to look at every challenge in your life differently. If you can do this, if you can master the deepest physical urge of hunger, you can face anything. That business challenge you've been avoiding. It no longer feels impossible. That relationship issue that seemed overwhelming, you approach it with calm and confidence. That dream you've been putting off because you doubted your strength, suddenly it feels within reach. Because fasting is not just about health, it's about identity. You no longer see yourself as someone controlled by cravings or circumstances. You see yourself as someone capable, resilient, disciplined, and free. And here's where the true magic lies. When you complete 5 days without food, you carry that empowerment with you long after the fast is over. The next time you sit down to eat, you do it with awareness, with gratitude, not with compulsion. You no longer take food for granted, and you no longer use it to fill emotional voids. You begin to eat for nourishment, not for distraction, and that shift alone can change the entire course of your health and your life. This is why I say fasting is one of the most powerful teachers you will ever encounter. It doesn't just heal your cells, it heals your perspective. It doesn't just reset your digestion, it resets your mindset. It doesn't just reduce your inflammation, it reduces your dependency. It transforms you at every level: physical, mental, emotional, even spiritual. And once you've tasted that freedom, once you've felt that empowerment, you'll never go back to the old way of living. So when you look at those 5 days, it's not about deprivation, it's not about suffering, it's about awakening. It's about remembering that your body was designed to be strong, not fragile, that your mind was built for clarity, not chaos, that you were created to thrive, not to be chained to constant eating. In those 5 days, you're not just resetting your body, you're reclaiming your power, rewriting your story, and proving to yourself that you are far stronger than you ever imagined. And the truth is, once you experience that level of empowerment, you begin to wonder, what else have I been underestimating about myself? What other strengths, what other abilities, what other hidden powers are waiting to be unlocked, just like this one? That's the gift of fasting. It's not just what it does to your body, it's what it reveals about you. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. You'll carry that strength with you, not just for 5 days, not just for a season, but for the rest of your life. And so, when you step back and look at everything your body has done in those 5 days, switching on survival mechanisms, lowering insulin, burning fat, clearing out damaged cells, rebuilding with growth hormone, strengthening your immune system, cooling inflammation, resting your gut, sharpening your brain, and breaking free from the grip of cravings, you begin to see the bigger picture. This wasn't just a fast, this was a reset not only of your body, but of your mind, your emotions, and your perspective on what you're truly capable of. You didn't just abstain from food, you discovered strength you didn't know you had. You found clarity you didn't know was possible. You tapped into healing that no drug, no supplement, no quick fix could ever give you. And the lesson is clear. Your body is not broken, it's brilliant. It doesn't need constant input to survive. It needs space to thrive. 5 days may seem short, but in those 5 days, you've awakened a power that will stay with you long after the fast ends. Because the real transformation isn't just what happened inside your cells. It's what happened inside you. You now know you are stronger than your hunger, stronger than your cravings, stronger than your doubts. And that strength will carry into every part of your life. This is not the end of a fast. This is the beginning of a new way of living, one where you walk with confidence, clarity, and the deep knowing that your body was designed to heal, and you were designed to rise.